Climate Corps, but I also work on energy efficiency with cities and low income and communities of color. So that's kind of a bit of a background, but I'm going to talk about our fellowship program today. And first I'll just start by giving you a brief overview of EDF and who we are. So EDF, Environmental Defense Fund, is an international nonprofit. We work at the nexus of science, economics, and policy to address some of the world's most pressing environmental issues. We've been partnering with businesses for about 25 years now, and our goal of that work is to ensure that environmental considerations are part of the business norm. So we create kind of innovative partnerships with businesses, helping them become more sustainable, if you will. A really good example of that is, I don't know how old this group is, but back in the day when McDonald's was still using really like foam cups, and like you eat a Big Mac and you use that foamy thing. So we worked with them to kind of switch to paper, for example. So that was kind of like a big thing at the time. Now it seems like a no-brainer, but at the time it was definitely groundbreaking. So that's just one example of the work that we've done. We don't take money from any of our businesses or our partners, but we like to say we get paid in environmental results. So about this fellowship, which focuses on energy efficiency. Why are we focusing on energy efficiency? Well, some more context. In 2008, federal legislation on climate was at a standstill, yet we knew we still needed to address climate change and reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. So we looked to energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is the one solution to climate change that delivers both environmental and economic results immediately. You save energy, you save money. So we knew that we could do something without major policy by working on energy efficiency. So distilling that a little bit further, we also realized that a third of our greenhouse gas emissions as a country comes from buildings. And then according to a study, it showed that many organizations were leaving $1 trillion worth of energy savings on the table. So that means they're just leaving $1 trillion because they're not being energy efficient. So energy efficiency in buildings was something that we wanted to work on. And so this is an example of the opportunity. The lights are on at night. So we knew we wanted to work with energy efficiency in buildings, and that's why we started this Climate Corps program. Climate Corps places young graduate students into organizations to make the business case for energy efficiency. Why? Because typically energy managers are resource constrained, they don't have a large team to support them, and so they need the help. If you're an energy manager of a multinational company or a large city, you don't necessarily have the time to delve into every single opportunity that you think may be viable. You're trying to keep the fort afloat, or whatever the phrase is. So that's where we bring in graduate students to come in with fresh ideas, innovative solutions that can help these organizations become more energy efficient. And our projects have evolved, and they've evolved from not strictly working on energy efficiency, but more sustainability broadly. But the essence behind the program is the fact that you can look into energy or environmental solutions, and it doesn't hurt your bottom line, it can actually benefit it. So since 2008, we've worked with 600 fellows, 350 plus organizations, and all of these fellows have found $1.4 billion worth of energy savings combined, which is equivalent to, I think, about taking off 400,000 cars off the road. So that's pretty significant. These are the just examples of the organizations we work with. We work with housing authorities, cities, Fortune 500 companies, and these are pictures of all of our fellows at their placements. So, project types. As I discussed before, our projects are going kind of beyond what we call the low-hanging fruit, meaning those easy opportunities, to something a little bit more sophisticated sophisticated as companies begin to just kind of progress and along the energy management spectrum. So the first example is building efficiency, which is like changing out light bulbs and just looking at just various low-cost, cost-effective opportunities there may be to reduce energy. The other projects, and I'll go through each one, this one is engagement and behavior change. So as companies begin to develop goals around their sustainability or energy use, they also want to engage their employees on it. They want to have them be bought into it, but also have them change their practices to help them achieve their goals. So our fellows, for example, might do trainings, they might do lunch and learns, just different strategies to engage their employees on energy efficiency or sustainability. So with that in mind, companies are also moving beyond kind of just blindly doing retrofits every here and there to creating a more comprehensive and holistic plan. They have a goal, let's say they want to reduce their energy use by 20% by 2020, then they need a plan, right? And so our fellows would help create a roadmap to help them achieve their goals, and that could be in the form of a sustainability or energy management plan. Clean energy and renewable energy are becoming more and more hot topics. As part of these broader goals, many companies might say, well, I want to invest more in solar. I want to get my energy from cleaner sources. And they also might be a little bit more sophisticated and say, well, I want to find some new technologies to help me reduce my energy use, or to help me reduce my load. So that's where clean energy and renewable energy comes in, and that's what our fellows might work on. They might work on helping these companies secure on-site solar, for example, which we actually did with CSX. And then data analysis. Data analysis is going to be a core component of all of these projects. You're going to have to crunch the numbers, see what the baseline energy use is, track all the energy, etc. So data analysis is actually something embedded in each of these projects in their own way. But sometimes you might have a fellow that's all they're doing, tracking and collecting data and trying to get that baseline energy information. And then finally, financial evaluation and planning. So with this, fellows might work on evaluating opportunities or evaluating financing options to invest in energy efficiency in solar. How can I pay for the solar project? What are some financing tools that I can use? So either the fellow might create a financial modeling tool to help their organization look into or make decisions around investment opportunities, or simply evaluate a specific financing option for a specific project. And that's all she did, which is why she's pictured in a desk with lots of papers and stuff. So the process, first of all, do you all have any questions? And I'm moving kind of quickly, but any questions about what I said? Okay, great. So the process, we recruit. This is me recruiting, and then we train. So after you apply and you're accepted into the program, there is a training. There's a I think it's about a week now, training. It happens in various cities, and EDF staff like myself or my colleagues will train you on energy efficiency, sustainability strategy, also organizational change. How can you talk to your company about the projects that you're working on and make a compelling case? So it's a great professional development opportunity. We also get consultants to help us design the training in addition to external experts. So it's a networking opportunity too. You get to network with the fellows that are going to be working for the summer, but also some of these experts that we invited. So after you're trained, you are placed. You get to work in the organization that we placed you with for the summer for 10 to 12 weeks. And at the end of that fellowship, you deliver, which is you create a final report outlining all of your findings and recommendations. So this is just represents kind of our past fellow cohorts, like who we've had in the program. You see, it used to be majority MBA, but now we're getting a lot of different degrees represented. So what do we look for in the application process? So just to backtrack, the application is due, we have 2 deadlines, I'll jump to that. We have 2 deadlines, it's December 8th and January 8th. I recommend everyone apply for December 8th because you're matched earlier, so you get to know which organization you would work with in, I believe, mid-February. And if you apply in January, you learn kind of mid-March, so there's a difference. The application is pretty simple. You tell us your preferences, where you would like to be placed, what type of organizations you want to be placed with, cities you want to work with, or cities you want to work in, and you also just, of course, provide us your resume, and then there's a cover letter. On the cover letter, we ask you, tell us more about yourself, your qualifications, but also I think we ask how the training will benefit you. So it's important you answer them both and not just like copy paste your cover letter that you use for everyone else, because we'll see that and that will be minus points. So be mindful of that. And that's really the application. We start reviewing or screening applicants. We'll probably start before the holidays and pick it up again in January. So you won't hear from us. Say you applied December 8th, you might not hear from us until like January 1st, or actually after that, early January, because we're screening everyone.